Today we're going to do a quick test with an older Neewer bicolor LED panel light. And I just want to see, is it brighter at 4400 degrees Kelvin, which is the middle point between 3200 and 5600? And the reason I was wondering this, I was actually making a video a minute ago, noticed only the bluer of the two, I guess the 5600 lights were on, and kind of wondered, is that the way to get maximum output on these things? I've never even really considered that. I Googled it and it said that it is. So we're going to do a little test and just see with my FX3 what is the f-stop rating at 3200, 5600, and 4400. And we will just see if under these crude sort of circumstances, if I can prove that it is in fact brighter. Let's jump over to the FX3. Okay, so here we are on the FX3. Just a quick bit of backstory. The last video I did was testing if a 75 watt LED bicolor panel was enough to power through a basic booklight setup. This is with quarter grid and an ultra bounce floppy. So anyways, right now I've got the camera's white balance set at 3200. The light is set at 3200. Another test I want to do is color balance, or if white balance changes going through a quarter grid thing, which I suspect that it does. Anyways, so this is at 3200. Next, let's jump over to 4400 on both the camera and the light. And I should also mention we are currently at f7.1. Okay, so let me move the phone out of there. Yeah, f7.1 according to my app on my phone that's running over to the camera. Okay, let's jump to 4400. Okay, now we're over at 4400 degrees Kelvin on the camera and on the light. It should also be mentioned that the power level on the light is 100% for all three of these tests. I am so surprised, but we've gone to f9 on the camera, which would tell me this is probably brighter than it was at f7.1. That is just crazy. I never would have thought that, but obviously it makes sense. Now let's jump up to 5600 and see if that dims down again, and if that is maybe a little bit brighter than the 3200, which I suspect it probably is. Okay, now here we are at 5600 degrees Kelvin on the light and on the camera. I am seeing that, move that out of there. So we're at F8. I'm pretty sure we were at F7.1 with the 3200 degree test. And yeah, I mean, this makes perfect sense. There's more LEDs lighting up. I can't believe that I never would have thought of that. Until today, I've had that light for many years, and yeah, pretty wild. Anyways, there you go. That's 4400 degrees. Seems to be a higher amount of power on this particular light. Other ones might vary. Now we're at f7.1, which is exactly what we had on the 3200 degree test. So the camera is jumping around a little bit. Obviously this isn't a light meter and we're not, super scientific, but just a fun little test. Next up, I'd like to play around with some white balance stuff, going through diffusion and bouncing light and stuff. I'm sure that it changes the color, so it'd be neat to see comparisons between the camera's settings for what Kelvin setting it's at versus what the light is at, and doing it with a physical white balance, with a gray card versus just settings. Anyways, this is really interesting. Now we're back to F8. So it seems to be that maybe the 5600 degree is a little bit brighter than 3200, which I would have guessed just by eyeing it. But either way, 4400 seems brighter. So in max power situations, I'm definitely going to be going with that. And yeah, pretty blown away. Anyways, thanks for coming by. If you have any ideas for tests you'd like to see, let me know. I would like to get into a lot more of this real world stuff. Try to learn my gear, hopefully teach other people some stuff and learn myself. It's just a win-win situation, I think. So anyways, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. We'll see you on the next one.